Ooh, it is Mike Matthews, the host of the longest-running self-produced daily podcast on planet Earth by a guy named Mike. In fact, we're at episode 3001. Did they make a movie called 3001? I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that and open the pod bay door for you, Dave. Nope. I must be thinking of something else. Hey, it is Mike's Daily Podcast. Did you know that vintage shopping is booming? Resale is finally a reason to go to the store. Thrift stores have been around for a long time. My mom, back when I was a little kid, there was a type of shirt called Ocean Pacific. The brand was Ocean Pacific, or OP. And people were walking around with this OP lettering on their shirt. And they had these collared shirts. And I'd say to my mom, Mom, I need to have one of those OP shirts. And she said, okay. So she went to the thrift store and bought me just some regular collared shirt and said, there you go. It's an OP shirt. And I said, no, it's not. And she goes, no, it's OP. It's other people's. She had such a sense of humor. That kind of joke lands flat with a little kid. Thrift stores have always been around, but retail giants like Banana Republic, Lululemon, J. Crew, and H&M and REI, they're expanding. There are over 25,000 resale stores in the United States, and secondhand apparel increased about 11% 2 years ago from the year before, and the used clothing market reached $43 billion. In 2018, it was almost half that. Last year, apparel resale grew 7 times the rate of the broader retail industry. Independent resellers and corporate giants are getting creative to meet demand. Consumers have become increasingly aware of the environmental harms associated with buying new stuff and then going, this is old, and then throwing it away. You never throw it away. There's someone who's going to want it. There are so many thrift stores near podCastro Valley that you don't have an excuse. Just stop by and drop it off and get your receipt and tax deduction. So yeah, there are big environmental harms associated with retail consumption. Online players like The Real Real and Etsy's Depop, people are using that online. But people looking for the best deals in used goods or rare vintage items often prefer to see, feel, or try on the pieces in person. So help out your local thrift store that is tied to some charity, and you'll be helping out the charity, and that's a good thing, as always. And I got that information from Rob Black. I produce his podcast, and he is heard on AM 1220 KDOW weekday mornings and on Kron TV. Sorry, my nose is not cooperating today, and it's not allowing me to say certain words. Quran in the Bay Area, I guess that is short for Chronicle, because of the very famous News Chronicle in San Francisco. Anyway, Café Anyway. We got to go into Café Anyway. Let's go. Café Anyway. Welcome to Café Anyway. What?
It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
And it is episode 3001. 3001 episodes. Yours truly. Mike's Daily Podcast has done, and people don't do podcasts that long. They'll maybe do 100, and then they'll be tired, and then they'll go get some delicious bread from a local bakery, and they'll dance around. They'll go, wow, we got more people listening than Mike Matthews has on his daily podcast called Mike's Daily Podcast. So Johnson & Johnson just had a nasal spray approved. I despise Mike's nasal sprays. Daily I've only had to use them a few times in my life. Yeah. When I was so congested, when my sinuses were so inflamed, it was the only course of treatment that I really needed to take. But check this out. It's not a decongestant. It's to help you fight depression. Is that a depression? They're still working on the name. So they have it's a nasal spray for depression as standalone treatment. It's called Spravato. I guess kind of like, you spray and you have a certain amount of bravado in this world when you're signing a bunch of executive decisions and you say, hey, I need some Spravato so I don't get depressed. It's a blockbuster, bringing in $780 million in sales during the first 9 months of 2024. Spravato fights depression. Crazy. I'll tell you what I'm crazy about that I don't like. It drives me crazy like nothing else. And that would be all those commercials when I'm sitting there watching Amazon Prime and I got the stupid commercial tier and I'm watching something like The Librarians, which was a Noah Wyle show where...
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's really ridiculous, the show, The Librarians. It's based on a show Noah Wyle did called The Librarian. He did 3 standalone TV movies, I think for NBC. Bob Newhart's in it. Jane Curtin from Saturday Night Live. But this is not a podcast picture of any of them. It is actually of me, because the show's about me, and it always has been. And I'm standing there by the river there in Sacramento, by the river downtown, in downtown Sacramento. This was just after my birthday. It was a lovely day. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com. And the late great Basil the Boxer never went to Sacramento. But we did go to some rivers, I think. Did we go to never went to the Russian River. We were close. I don't think there's any rivers we went to. We went to the bay. That's kind of close. It's big. It's not a river, though. In parts, it turns into a river. My point is a spray that fights depression. But no, my point is that I'm not saying my point is anymore. My point is, yes, that. Oh, The Librarians is what I was going to mention about. It is a TV show where a guy is a librarian of the big library in New York. And underneath the library apparently is where all of the famous objects throughout history are. The magical objects like King Arthur's sword, Excalibur, the late great Basil the Boxer. I don't think he ever watched this show with me. I think it's something I found later on after he had passed. But yeah, it's like that big warehouse. It's kind of like Warehouse 13. If you ever watched that show on the Sci-Fi Network, I think it's done by the same people that did that and Eureka. It's comedic, but it's action-based. It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark, but more campy and goofy. Anyway, Café Anyway. If you watch it on Amazon Prime, there's commercials, unless you get the special non-commercials tier from Amazon. And Rebecca Romaine is in it. Romaine Lettuce is in it. And the late great Basil the Boxer didn't like romaine lettuce.
Whoa! Mike's Matthewsman Park.
Yes, it is a Matthewsman Park of information.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all times.
Rocky the Cat is now with me. This is how crazy it gets here at Café Anyway, somewhere in podCastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica. So over 18,000 Costco employees, members of the Teamsters Union, are striking against the retailer for a contract agreement that is not inked. Let's see. Okay, Rocky's bumping into the microphone. Why are Costco workers going on strike? This according to Soap Central Lifestyle. Okay, I see you. Quit being so attention deprived. I'm petting you. I'm a bald man petting a cat on his lap, so I must instantly be Dr. Evil or the Blomsfeld. Scarface. What was Dr. No, Dr. Scarface, whatever the guy's name was from James Bond. Based on a vote by 18,000 International Brotherhood of Teamsters union members who work at Costco stores across the country, they are ready to go on strike if they fail to reach a deal before January 31st. Aha, there we go. The 85% strike authorization demonstrates employee discontent as workers casted their votes overwhelmingly in favor of hinging a labor agreement on January 31st. What's that going to mean? What's that going to mean for me getting my $5 rotisserie chicken that, is pumped full of all kinds of weird things? I don't know. Union representatives say Costco's historical record of extraordinary profit growth fails to address its workforce needs. Oh, they want money. It could lead to empty shelves and delivery delays. 56 Costco stores in 5 states. Only 56? As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in podCastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica. So 56 Costco stores in 5 states could face service disruptions because of potential labor action. Product delivery disruptions alongside widespread empty spaces on store shelves are expected outcomes from such an action. So maybe get to Costco sometime before the end of the month. Costco has promised customers that their business will operate smoothly, yet indicators demonstrate substantial operation disruption. While Costco reassured the workforce about fairness in terms of treatment, the situation remains tense ahead of an impending deadline to finalize an agreement on the 31st. Labor strikes in retail are becoming increasingly common. Throughout the retail sector, labor actions are gaining momentum through the events.
Mike's out of left field recordings.
Recording everything captures actions that will never again be repeated.
Yes, this is out of left field. The number of major work stoppages across retail grew substantially 2 years ago when 33 events affected more than 1,000 workers per event. Each event causing a strike. Many retail employees throughout the industry are protesting for improved compensation and greater benefits while seeking workplace protection as industry-wide dissatisfaction becomes evident. Now, we have a Republican president, and as you will recall, if you were alive or if you ever read a history book, when Reagan was president, of course, a Republican president, and the who was it? The air traffic controllers, they went on strike. He said, no, you're fired. You're done. Don't bother coming back. It was like, don't even fool around. Don't even mess with this.
And now we return you to our regularly scheduled program with Mike Matthews.
With the skies. Thank you. That's who I am. So this will, if they come up with the negotiations before the end of the month will establish major effects on operators at Costco and their staff members, along with network procedure and customer activity. The potential work stoppage reveals difficulties that retail employees experience while creating uncertainties about employer-employee relations throughout the industry. It is interesting that Costco is doing so much. They're making so much money. I don't know how much more they're asking the employees, but dang, they do, they sell gold. They
fine article.
Great fat
Article.
They sell all kinds of, this fine article is just outlining that they're making a lot of profit. Now, you know who else is making profit is Disney. Moana 2, topped $1 billion at the global box office. And it was the third Disney movie that came out in 2024 that achieved that milestone. The third. Remember when they were really doing bad? When they had an AI written Pixar movie that came out a couple years back? Not Sing. It was the other one. It was like a one-word title. It looked terrible, but they did really well last year. They picked it up in 2024. So TikTok has got a 75-day reprieve from the new president before a big ban happens with them, a U.S. ban. Meta platforms, Alphabet's YouTube and Snap.
Cutting corners, corner.
The cutting corners corner. I think I'm allergic to my cat because I really want to sneeze right now. And I thought I wasn't. Oh well. Meta platforms, Alphabet's YouTube and Snap will all have something to gain with the U.S. ban. I have noticed, like, a lot of people watch those videos that they put through to Facebook. And of course, Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. That's got those also story-like TikTok-looking type videos, the short videos. And they make it really easy for you to make the video so that there is all this content out there that they can capitalize on and make more money off of by putting ads in there. Which I don't see where the ads are in Instagram. I probably shouldn't say that out loud. I guess I don't scroll down far enough. And Snap, is Snap still around? Snapchat? Gee. TikTok went dark for more than 12 hours recently. People went crazy. Influencers, annoying TikTok influencers. They're so annoying. They were, oh my God, what am I going to do?
The Fascinating Material Project.
FM Project.
It's fascinating material. The material they do. This is such awful material on TikTok. As of early, let's see, this was early after that weekend. On that Tuesday, the platform wasn't available to download on app stores owned by Apple and Google, parent company Alphabet. And I, however, was still able to upload videos to it, which I don't upload videos of me going, hey guys, hey, look at this great the hair thing that I got, but I don't have hair, so what's the point? I upload little snippets, little 1-minute snippets of the podcast. That's all I do. And nobody listens to them. You didn't know, because I know you didn't know, because nobody listens to them. There's like one person. But hey, I'm on TikTok there at Mike's Daily Podcast. So I found that I could still upload stuff to it.
Hey kids.
What?
It's me.
Who?
Do-Re-Mi the Clown.
He's probably got a TikTok channel too. That's annoying. So let's see here. Oh, wow. What?
Woo!
This could cost some money for TikTok. TikTok could be fined up to $5,000 per person who accesses TikTok via their service under the terms of the act that Congress passed to ban the app. By the way, that act was passed all the way back in April of last year. April. So finally, stuff is starting to come on down. TikTok has 170 million U.S. users. People are leaving. If they're leaving TikTok, they're going to a thing called Redbook, which is horror. It's even worse. But they're doing it because they know that, they're afraid China's going to get all my information. Well, I'm just going to give all my information to China, just give my soul to China by joining Redbook.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
I'll show them, all those people in Congress. What? Rocky the cat is distracting me. This frenetic cat and the move that happened with TikTok shutting down.
Mike.
Thank you. With TikTok shutting down, capped a year-long saga over the national security threat versus its wealthy U.S. investors. But hey, the guy that runs it, or whatever, the CEO, whatever the guy that's like the basically the Mark Zuckerberg of TikTok, was invited and showed up to the inauguration. That's right. He was at the inauguration along with all the other techie people like Zuckerberg and Elon and the other guy, the Tim Cook with Apple. Hopes are high that Trump's deregulatory agenda will take the stock market to new heights. Investors are anxious that His other policies will lead to another bout of inflation and hurt stock prices, namely tariffs and tax cuts. On immigration, Trump declared a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border as part of 10 executive orders related to immigration. This could lead to higher prices for homes and fruits and vegetables.
Woo!
Yeah, and excited about that. And already so many people that would be harvesting the food here in California, they're leaving the fields because they don't want to be deported, and they don't want to get caught by ICE. So there's fruit and crops and vegetables sitting in the fields waiting to be picked. So it's up to you and me, man. Let's go. Kombucha. Let's make that kombucha by picking all that stuff. I sure love my fruits and vegetables. Hey, Rocky the cat, why don't you help? Trump declined to issue new tariffs on day one. Instead, he wants to pursue an examination of the U.S. trade practices with other countries. He did say he would enact 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico. This would begin on February 1st. Outside a Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Meritopka. Look who's here. Hello, Michael Mash, it's Madame Rootabega, and I see a cat. Ooh. Yes, the cat that I should name Moana instead of Rocky. Because Moana's such a pretty name, and it magnifies his coolness. Did you understand what I just said? Yes. Do you think cats are cool? Yes. Do you like that song by Squeeze? No. It's cool for cats. Cool for cats. Hey, it's all right to sing an entire song and sound like you are Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins. It's a jolly old day with Mary. Oh, so much that and I'm proud of and then it's it's cool for cats. Cool for cats. I saw Squeeze in concert back in the 80s at the Arlington Theater in Santa Barbara. It was a phenomenal show. They did not do that song. They did their other big song that was popular at the time called The Hourglass. Take it to the bridge, throw it overboard, see if it can swim. Back up to the shore, no one's in the house, everybody's out, all the lights are on, and blinds are down.
Magnification.
And they did Black Coffee in Bed, but they sped it up. Oh, wow. The lyrics for Cool for Cats. The Indians send signals from the rocks above the pass. The cowboys take position in the bushes and the grass. The squaw is with the corporal. She is tied against the tree. She doesn't mind the language. It's okay. That's it. Wow. Wow. We better skip that verse altogether. Then there's the Sweeney's doing Fit 90 because they've got the word to go to get a gang of villains in a shed up at Heathrow. They're counting out the fivers when the handcuffs lock again. In and out of Windsworth with the numbers on their names. Dang. I don't think It's Cool for Cats has the most, let's just say 2024 friendly. Not to be all wokey here, but wow. Okay, to change the mood a little, I've been posing down the pub. I'm seeing my reflection. I'm looking slightly rough. I fancy this, I fancy that. I want to be so flash. So flash. I give a little muscle and I spend a little cash. And then there's something about a rash. Okay, never mind. There you go. Look who else is here. Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Mike, you never knew the lyrics to that song? No, I didn't. Oh, sorry, Bison. Go ahead. Yeah, you didn't know the lyrics. Do you know that? Yeah, I didn't know that lyrics. Pulling muscles for actually one of my favorites is here at the bar, another in my heart, another nail in my heart, and oh no, Annie, get your gun, she's gone religion, Annie, Work it out. She's
ginormous.
That's a ginormous song that nobody knows. I never hear that on the radio. I hear Tempted. That's the one I hear all the time. And yes, they did that song. Oh my gosh, Rocky, you're pulling my headphones right off. This cat is vicious and bent on destroying the rest of this podcast, so I'll just do it myself. What do you think about anything we covered today? Here's the phone number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. Oh, A-Frame, tell us so much more about Mike's Daily Podcast. That's right. This is what people have been listening to. Thank you for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.